My beloved Charlotte, my wife of 14 years. She's always had a magnetic attraction to areas of study so unexplored that she, by default, becomes the foremost expert. I never know what draws her in so strongly to such niche research, but I support her as best as I can. Perhaps I should not have. The last months have seen her desk covered by a dusty tome of eldritch beings. Where she found such a book, I didn't know, but the sudden appearance of an artifact like this is common for her, so I paid no attention. Well, I paid no attention until the day when Charlotte was suddenly missing. A note left in her place. It only read, "I will have been banished to the ancient realm. It is for the best." My own wife? No, I could not stand for her to be gone without a trace. Banished to the ancient realm? I needed to understand. I started to scour her notes. I found scrawled handwriting talking of incoming destruction and the banishment sacrifice. As unsettling as they were, they only served to confuse me more. My search yielded 2 clues. One was a torn scrap of paper with untranslated runes. The other was the location of where she had found the ancient tome, the Great Library. With nothing else to do, I took the book and the paper and traveled to the Great Library myself. I hoped to use the tome to translate the scrap and use its secrets to find more answers in the library. What I found there, I will never forget.
It is for the best.
There's my first clue. I should jot that down. Infested. Could this have been written by Charlotte? Bit by bit, I saw Charlotte materialize in front of me. She fell down, coughing a black sludge onto the floor. I picked her up and ran outside the library. She continued to cough, but less and less material came out of her lungs. After many minutes, she stopped altogether. Slowly, she lifted her head, and I looked into her eyes. With a wave of relief, I saw my wife looking back at me. She was pale, starving, and exhausted, but she was whole. Together, we slowly made our way to the closest town. I purchased a room for the night at a small inn. While I sat pondering what had taken place that evening, Charlotte collapsed into bed and slept peacefully. All was right. Bit by bit, I saw Charlotte materialize in front of me. With each moment, I felt my heart lighten. But as her face came into view, my lungs froze. Charlotte's eyes were dead. No, not dead. They were empty. Something was horribly wrong. With a crack, Charlotte's jaw snapped backwards, her mouth swinging open in a fully unnatural motion. A guttural noise emanated from her throat. Slowly, her hands grabbed the sides of her mouth and pulled outward, tearing a gaping hole in her face. Bit by bit, a dark creature crawled out of her head. Charlotte's body fell to the floor, limp. Stock still, I could only stare as the creature looked me over. Then, in a cracking voice, it spoke.
Have you released me from that human prison on purpose, little one? Or were you expecting someone else to appear in my place?
I realized that the creature that addressed me was Nyarlathotep, the monster Charlotte had banished herself to entrap. With a cry, I tried to hide my face, but it was no use. Nyarlathotep grabbed me with one hand and cast me into the ancient realm. The world was cast into darkness as eldritch beings flooded over human civilization. I had brought about the new reign of the ancient gods.